Well, welcome, YouTube friends and family. Surprise jump on live this morning. Probably should have brushed my hair again before I got on, but I am doing this live. Let me tip a little bit. Yes, I have on some festivity, and I'm going to be working on a video today that will be up for tomorrow. I think y'all are going to enjoy it. It's going to be Christmas themed, but by request, I had one of my very faithful subscribers, hope you don't mind I say your name, since you did comment publicly, who had some questions about my circle bottle. Now, y'all, I've gone back and forth and I've used different products because of having diabetes. I cannot consume sugar and I'm not a big fan of carbonated beverages. And there is so little that is decaf. I can't handle a whole bunch of caffeine. But hi, whoever jumped on. So the request was, tell us more about Circle. So let me just get this out here. Good morning, Susan and Grant. I'm not affiliated. All of these products were purchased with my own money. If you have trouble drinking adequate water, not particularly my problem. However, plain water can get super boring. So the original Circle bottle, which a lot of times you can get in a starter pack, is just plain plastic. Capacity is probably 16 ounces. I'm doing a guess here. I did a little research, but not a whole bunch. The problem I have with this is I prefer not to have just room temperature water, but if that's your game, this would work fine for you. So I purchased, because I do like pink too, the aluminum bottle. It has a rubber base so it doesn't tip over. I really like it. It will keep your ice cubed iced for hours. So what's the downside? Y'all, this won't fit in the cup holder. So then I end up driving like this, and I don't particularly enjoy that. So this morning I went out and looked, and I'm like, and of course you've come out with one that's made a lot like my Stanley cup. Hi, Ross. Welcome, welcome. It's about, it's a little after 7 here. Sun's still coming up. It's a whopping 23 degrees. I have to look over at my weather station to tell. It's supposed to be 41 today. However, it's going to be 40 to 50 mile an hour winds. So my girls hate the wind, my chickens. And I always tell them, I can't let you out because you catch some air, you'll end up in the next town over. Hi, Nancy. So why Circle? Why do I prefer that over certain flavor drops? So what I did was I pulled out a cartridge, and this is what they come in as a box, but this is what they actually look like when you insert them into the bottle. And the tube is filled with the flavoring, but as you see here, 0 calories, good. No sugar, great. You just got there, Russ. Well, I just started. 21 in Saskatchewan. Okay, so we're like Canadian weather up in here. No artificial flavors, so it's not full of chemicals. The biggest one for me is there's no artificial colors. I know it's really pretty to drink pink punch or blue raspberry, but this is straight up clear. So if you're like me and you happen to spill it, and I'll share a little bit about that, you know, it's not going to stain anything. And this also really helps reduce waste. So one thing I really like, and watch me do this, y'all, and it go everywhere. Ooh, it just dialed it up. If you knock it over, it isn't going to spill everywhere. It's like the perfect Kim sippy cup. Oh, minus 21. I thought it was 6 a.m. dash my 21 degrees. Is that Fahrenheit or Celsius? Oh my goodness. Hi, ma'am, from India. Well, welcome, clear from India. Great deal. So I like the fact that it doesn't spill easily. The other thing I like, can y'all see? Not well, you can't. There's a little dial here that you can pull this tab. You can make it stronger or weaker, and it goes from 0 to 10. So good morning, Judy. So let's say you're drinking some water and you're like, I really want something flavored. And so you drink some flavored water maybe to hold you over to the next meal. That'd be me. And then you're like, okay, I'm over this. You can turn the flavoring off. I know somebody's going to ask, how long does a cartridge last? Because they aren't cheap, y'all. They're here about $6.99. For me, it lasts days because I get tired of the flavoring. The flavoring's delicious. I haven't met a flavor yet. They have so many that I don't like. So I usually use a setting of 3. You can tell when your cartridge starts to go empty because you won't have any flavor. Can I explain about myself? Okay, I will really quickly because we do have some newbies on here. My name is Kim. I am a retired RN. I live in Ohio in the US, and I homestead, which means I grow a lot of my own food. I keep chickens. I make a lot of products, and I focus on wellness because I'm retired at age 63, actually retired at 58, because I have some chronic health problems that prevented me from continuing to work. So that's just a little bit about me. What do we do on this channel? We do talk about wellness, but we do all kinds of things. We cook a lot, food good. We craft a lot. We go shopping. We do some shopping hauls, that sort of stuff. So I hope that helps you. I can't say your name. Karthikeyan? If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Grandma, I am just. Well, I am a grandma, Heather. just. Okay. Well, I don't know what that exactly means. 48 degrees in Vegas. That's pretty chilly for Vegas, right? So the other thing I wanted to say is that they now have several lines of flavor cartridges. So this one is energy. It does have some caffeine in it. I went for flavor and I didn't realize I was buying the caffeinated one, but it doesn't make me jittery because you're getting a very small amount. They have a Go Sip and a Fit Sip. The Go Sip has B vitamins. The Fit Sip has, what does it have? Electrolytes in it. So if you're, physically laboring or you're working out, they just have all kinds. Some of my favorite flavors, I don't know, what am I, 6? I like the blue raspberry. I love the peach. I'm not a huge fan of citrus water, but they have a lot of citrus. They have a lot of, weird combinations like kiwi strawberry or peach mango. I hate mango. I was joking. Okay. Heather. Grandma. Okay. I wish I was a grandma, Heather. I was talking to my son night before last, and one of the things as a mother, my son will be 40 next month. Never been married, doesn't have any children. His dad's mom, so his grandma on the other side, isn't doing real well, and so they're having a 90th birthday party for her, and so we were talking about it, and I was like, well, I guess I'll never be a grandma. And as soon as I said the words, I wished I could call him back because I would not want my son to have a child if he didn't want a child. And he said, Mom, honestly, I'm like getting too old because I'd be almost 60 before I could get him out of the house. I'm like, 60, young. Good morning, Betsy. Oh, yes, hit the like button. I do appreciate that. So anyway, God bless them. I had a grand cat and had a rough 2023. His cat was 16, I believe, and had some renal failure, and Ben faithfully took care of that baby. Chester was his name, and Chester didn't survive his last, I'll just say, urinary crisis. And so he had to have his cat put down, and then my mother passed away. So it was a really tough year for him. But then this year, 2024, has been really good because he bought his first house, and he's having a really good time, revamping things, putting his touches on it. So it's been fun to watch him just grow and mature. And I only have the one child. And for those of you who are new, I was laughing yesterday. I've been single for 28 years, and a channel I watched was like, what do you do with a boyfriend? Do you walk them? Do you feed them? It was kind of a joke, and I'm like, I don't know. I've been single 28 years. Help me out here. Oh. Oh, thank you, Ross, for looking out for me. So, Michael, if you have other questions, you know, guys, I always leave my email in the description box below. I'm going to take a sip of water. Oop, I'm sure you saw me splash a little water there. You can always feel free to email me. So what are we going to do today? Y'all, I'm embarrassed to admit that it's December 4th and I just have not done the decorating that I normally would do. I did learn something this year. I don't know how you feel about it. Can I show my home? I have so many videos. I wish I could say your name right. So many videos. We do home tours, you know, for seasonal decorations. So there will be some of that in the video I'm filming today for tomorrow. Happy to show it, but you can go back and look at some of my playlists. Next question is, any man in your life? Frankie. Frankie's my cat. That's my only man. You know, guys, here's the thing. I'm not anti-relationship because I get a lot of questions about that. Where's your husband? Why don't you have a husband? For many years, first my dad was ill and passed away, and today is the 14th anniversary, oh Lord, I'm not going to cry, of the day he passed away. But since then, Mom joined him, and I took care of my mom for about 13 years, and my mom had health problems, but her primary problem was dementia. She was a feisty little thing. I have a few videos of her on my channel. Towards the end, I wouldn't film her because it just was not flattering to her, and I knew in her right mind she wouldn't appreciate it. So that's kept me very busy. And then I also developed all of these health problems, the psoriatic arthritis, systemic lupus. I've had 4 major spine surgeries. So I just couldn't find it in my heart, knowing that my health was variable, to try to build a relationship. So do I ever get asked out? Oh, on rare occasion. But I'm always like, I don't date. And that's just kind of been my philosophy. I no longer have the excuse of my parents. So I think just being a little bit set in my ways. And I do get lonely sometimes. You know, I do get asked that. Do you get lonely? But I have loads of friends. I have wonderful neighbors who I also consider friends. So I'm never really bored. I tried finding your email, but I couldn't. If you click on the description box, scroll past all of the Amazon links, it's at the bottom, and it's all one word, sweethoneybath@gmail.com. How the Christmas going on? It's not. I've got to get some stuff up because my son is going to come home. We're celebrating a little bit early just because of the weekend before. It's just a better time for him. And I remember one year, I had been traveling so much. This was when I was working, and the kid walked in. And Ben is one of those people, if he doesn't like your outfit, he gonna tell you about it. He's not trying to hurt your feelings. He's just very direct. And he was like, Mom, are you clinically depressed? Where are all the trees? I used to put up like 7 Christmas trees. Yeah, that ain't happening anymore. I just don't have the umption to do it anymore. My shoulder, for those of you too who are new, I've re-injured my shoulder from an old rotator cuff tear toward again. It's a little better today, praise God, because having to lift things, I can lift and I'll use my good arm. I can't reach this way. Wow, big hunk of cat hair. Is that cat hair? Oh no, it's just lift. Okay. Or go behind. And so I'm learning what I can do, what I can't do. I haven't even taken like a Tylenol because that isn't going to help it heal. I have been using heat and icy hot and lidocaine patches. Let's see. Oh, good morning, Joanne. Oh, well, thank you, Ross. You're too kind. Tell me about all the places you visited in the world. Well, of course, Canada, every state but 3 in the US, all through the Caribbean, some obscure islands to the east, Central America, I've been to Belize, Guatemala, South America, Venezuela, and I was responsible for the United States, Canada, and Portugal. So I haven't done the European tour, but I've gotten to see a lot of things in my life. And my son will talk about, oh, I want to go here and I want to go there. And I'm thinking, I just want to stay home. I think I got a little burned out, guys. I really did. I had trouble, I couldn't have chickens. My garden was always a disaster because I was never home. I felt like, good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Patricia. Yes, you finally caught me live. I didn't plan to do a live, but I thought, well, I'm up and I'm clean, so I actually dried my hair, which is a miracle on a whole bunch of levels. Have I been to Brooklyn? Oh yeah. There's 3 states I haven't been to in the US, which is Montana, Idaho, and Hawaii. I've been to Alaska, it was beautiful. And I've been to some of the states where you're like, well, I'm not visiting here again unless I have to. So I kind of ate my way through the United States. I love tasting local cuisine. Did some sightseeing if I could work it in after my work schedule and I wasn't totally exhausted. I've never been to India, so I don't know a lot about the Middle East and that whole area. I just really I don't know. So I can't give an opinion on it. I've been to Vegas. So one of the things that we did when I worked is we had an annual conference. And part of my job was teaching, because I do get asked, were you a teacher? No, I was a nurse, but I taught a lot of nursing topics to franchisees. I worked for a home care company for many, many years. So one year it was in Vegas, and I was so amazed that there were like slot machines in the restrooms. I don't gamble, so, I was like, what? I did not go see any shows, which I understand was probably a mistake. But our annual conference, you literally work 14, 16 hours a day. I might have as many as 5 different presentations to give, and it was a 3-day conference. So I wasn't so much interested in sightseeing. I always liked eating, but sightseeing wasn't always the best. I'm almost 60 and hate leaving home now. I work 1 day a week, and that's my 1 day. Then I'm home for 6 days. Stay in and keep the fire going. Yes, I saw a meme the other day, and I sent it to my bestie, and it said something like, I don't like driving after dark. I don't like going out after dark. I don't like driving. I don't like leaving the house. And I'm like, well, I'm not going. I do get a little stir crazy and want to leave the house. But especially in the winter here in Ohio, we are supposed to be 41 and then 14 tonight, with rain changing to ice, changing to snow. I get a lot of ice where I am right now. We always have. If you want to kind of get a general idea, if you know I-70, the corridor that runs through the Midwest, it runs east to west, pretty straight line. I'm not that far from that, 12 miles. So I fall in the ice line, and sometimes just getting to a main road, because I must be seeing things, guys, because I look and it's gone. Sometimes cat hair flies by. If I can get to a main road, I'm usually okay. Here in the little town, I live in a village, they don't salt the roads. So we have a very large gravel pit that is very active, very used. I think I've been in the midst of a video before when they're blasting at the quarry, and it will shake the whole house, and the pictures on the wall. So they use sand, a lot of sand, and crushed limestone, because the quarry is very rich in limestone. So really all that does is it makes it look like somebody threw up in the road, because it's kind of orange, and it dings up your paint job. So it's not real pleasant. Vegas has changed drastically. No more buffets. They charge for parking, and the pirate show at the Treasure Island is gone. I follow a couple people that have gone to Vegas that have said that. You can keep the ice. You've got about 4 feet of snow. I'd like to have 4 feet of snow. Maybe not so much for the chickens, but they have been staying, because it's been so unseasonably cold. They've been staying in their nighttime coop, And what's really, really sweet is Jolene has decided now that Winona is her baby. And so every morning when I go out, they're both cuddled up together, and it's so sweet. I went out about 5 and checked on them. They're fine. Gave them food and water. It's cold in Tennessee, so much for the sunny South. Yeah, if I didn't live in Ohio, I'd probably live in Tennessee. It's my favorite state besides Ohio. But I've lived here all my life, so I've never really had that burning desire to move. And then when I think about all the crap that I have, well, it's not crap really, but all the stuff that I have, I just, I don't think I will ever move. If I have to downsize, I will downsize. Um, but I think the way everything's laid out and what I can hire, like I don't do my own yard work anymore. I do all my gardening and take care of the animals and such, and can clean the house and do my laundry and such, grocery shop, all of those things. But if it becomes difficult to go up and down the stairs, my first floor pantry is actually the first floor master, and I have a full bath downstairs, so I don't have to worry about, I could shut off the upstairs if I had to. I'm hoping that won't be. Or get one of those cool chairlift things that go up the stairs. Well, this has been really fun. I'm glad I decided to hop on. So I need to get busy, but y'all, I get sucked into these. So if y'all remember, I've been doing those little Lego type builds, and I was having a fit about the Christmas tree. I literally almost said some bad words about that Christmas tree. I clicked it up together as best I could. I put it on the mantle. I was like, nobody touch it, nobody sneeze, nobody anything. So I did break down, and I got this one. And so it is a Christmas carnival, and it's really, really fun. Let me see if I can show you. And Ross, I'm not a millionaire. I do remember, this is really funny. I've had a financial advisor for a number of years as a single person, not because I have a lot of money to manage, but because pensions kind of went away. I had 3 long-term jobs in my 42 years of working, and I did have a pension from my first job, which I've never touched. A very, very small pension, like about that big, from my second job, and none from my third. So I was using like the 401k programs and things like that. But I remember my financial advisor telling me if I wanted to live the lifestyle that I was accustomed to, I needed $1 million. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to be downsizing the lifestyle a little bit. It's warm this morning at 23. We've been 17. Yeah, we've been in the teens too. You got about 1.5 inches. Wow. Well, I guess the wedding's off for us. You're so funny. So let me show you real quick if I can do this without dropping it. So here's where I am. And it's so cute on the inside. There's so much detail to these. And in case y'all didn't figure it out, I'm very type A and I'm very detail oriented. And I'll be like, okay, I need to get busy, and I'll go do something, walk past the table and be like, okay, let's just put a couple more pieces on. So I need to get busy. You're so funny, Ross. Oh my word. So I need to get up out this chair, go act like somebody, as Andy Griffith said. We're going to do something fun today. You guys, excuse me if you're new. I have chronic hiccups, and they're loud, and I'm sorry. Why do I have chronic hiccups? I don't know. So I've been dragging things out of the closet. That's what my hair looks like it does. I at least got the stockings hung because we don't want Saint Nick to pass us by. I've had all my shopping done for quite some time. I had the one gift card. My son doesn't really watch my videos. He says, Mom, you don't sound like you. It's like professional mom. He's so funny. Like I said, Ben will tell you exactly what you think. If he thinks my top is too low, he'll say, you're not going out in that, are you? Which you all have seen me enough, you know I'm not an immodest person. But if it's a V-neck, I'll be like, well, yeah, why? Mom, you look like a hoe. I hope that doesn't offend anybody. But he doesn't do it to hurt your feelings. He just figures, well, if you ask my opinion, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. And he does. Um, Glad I live in a house. Your apartment's small. I put my key in the door and broke the window. Oh, gosh, you're so funny. Here's the situation, because people have asked me, why do you have such a big house? And I have about an acre, so I don't have huge amounts of land, but I've got a lot of land. To me, it's a lot of land. I have a 4-bedroom, 3 full bath home, but I've lived here. Next month will be 24 years. And when I moved here, my son was 16. We moved on his 16th birthday. I'll never forget that day. Snowed like crazy. It was in January. But we had lived literally just down the street in a very small house that just had 1 bath. And my son would have 11 kids over, and you could never get your turn in the restroom. And there were kids everywhere, and I was like, this will be perfect. I'll have plenty of room. My parents were snowbirds if they want to come and stay. So what happens? Yeah, my kid moves out, goes to college, never comes back. So now here I am. So, and here's a funny thing too. I've never lived in an apartment. How about that? I know I lived in the dorm when I was in college, but that's it. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to finish this step. Oh, and here's another tip. Don't try to build on like a busy tablecloth. My eyes have been kind of crossed and not so good. But seriously, I'm going to get busy. We're going to do some decorating. For me this year, it's all about the vintage. Y'all know I love mid-century modern, which is basically the 50s, and depending on the source, can be all the way up to the 70s. I was born in 61, but my parents and grandparents still had a lot of stuff from the 50s, so that era is kind of near and dear to my heart, and I have loads of vintage decor. Loads. Okay, maybe a little too much. We're not going to decorate the whole house, but we're going to learn a little bit about the history of what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show you some of my prized possessions. So I hope the couch is comfortable. Well, I got 3 of the bedrooms, Ross. Oh, I have some Christmas things out. Oh, bless your heart, Patricia. I will be praying for you. If y'all remember last year, no tree, maybe next year, you know what? That's okay. I really struggled last year. It was the first year without both of my parents. My mom passed away June 29th, and I thought I would be fine. I wasn't fine. Yeah, I wasn't fine. Like, I didn't want to wear my holiday shirts, and this one says Meowie Christmas. This was a gift many years ago from my sister, and it's freezing in this house, so we've got the heavy sweater, which is not flattering to your shape at all. Let's see, the first time. And Pat, you know what? Cherish the memories you have, but it's okay not to do the same things you always do. I didn't. I really didn't. I just couldn't. I finally, a couple days before my son came home, knowing that he would worry, my son's a worrier, whenever he gets that from, I went ahead and put some things up because I was afraid he would just be disappointed. And for many years since my dad had passed, my mom was always here too. So yeah, it was a little bittersweet, but you know what? I know my parents are reunited. I know they're in heaven. I know I will see them again one day. I hope you have that same assurance. Do I go for younger men? Well, Frankie's only 13. I shouldn't say that. Somebody will turn me into YouTube. Oh, my word, Frankie is a cat. Yeah, relationships just aren't kind of in my wheelhouse right now. But anyway, what's in my wheelhouse today needs to be getting some stuff done. So let me give you a real quick sneak peek, guys. Yep, I do have some things up. So if you all have been on the channel a while, you'll remember when we bought that last year. Okay, guys, I am going to get off here. Patricia, you're in my thoughts and prayers continued. And like I said, cherish the memories, and it's okay to be sad. That's for sure. And it's okay to cry, because if it wasn't, I'd be in big trouble. I cry a lot. All right, guys. Thank you all for hopping on. This was so much fun. I should do Vlogmas, but I hate to commit and then disappoint. So I'm going to get busy, finish this step, start dragging crap out of the closet from under the stairs. Y'all, there's a half wall, so I have to crawl under the half wall. It's like playing Jenga to get all the decor out, and I can really only use my left arm to lift, so yeah. Yeah, I understand, Ross. There's a lot of weirdos, y'all. There's a lot of strange people, and you really do have to be very mindful, very careful. I know online dating is like a big thing, but my luck, I'd get a serial killer. I watch too much crime TV too. All right, Patricia, I'm glad you're cherishing the memories, because sometimes that's what we have left, but nobody can take that away from us. All right, guys, until I see you tomorrow, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and tell me how to turn this off, because you know I always forget. All right, guys, take care. End. Oh.